It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
What's up, y'all? Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. They call him the BOAT. I want to thank all you guys out there, all you guys for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes and caviar dreams, man. There's a whole lot to talk about coming off a big weekend with reality wrestling, of course. But I tell you, there's a whole lot going on out there in the world of professional wrestling today. So, guys, if you got any comments, make sure you get them in early. Super chat them in if you want to hear from your boy Booker T and Brad Gilmore. But how you feel, man? How you feel?
I'm doing good, Book. You know, watched Super Bowl last night. H-Town representative Jalen Hurts went out there and put a hurting on them boys. The Chiefs tried to come back there in the last quarter there. But you know what, man? It was time.
Man. Come on. The game was over at halftime.
Game was over at halftime, 100%.
Game was over at halftime.
Yeah.
They could have scored that little 22 points. The game would have been over. There's no way. Those were mercy points.
I feel you. I agree.
I've never seen Patrick Mahomes in that state ever, where it seemed like he had no idea what was going on that field, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, that rush from the Eagles was crazy. It was mad, man. It was mad. And the thing is, I don't know if you saw the stat or not, but they did not blitz one time the whole game.
But it felt like it was a blitz every time. You know what I mean?
It felt like it was. It felt like they were just like the walls were just caving in every single time. The pocket was just collapsing every single time. It seemed like it was a 5-6 man rush every single time, but it was only a 4-man rush every down from the outset to the end, which is amazing. It really is amazing.
And here's the thing. If you would have told the Chiefs, hey, y'all are going to be able to pretty much for the entirety of the game contain Saquon Barkley. Y'all going to be able to contain him. He's not going to get the numbers that he normally gets. You would feel really good as a Chief going into the game. You'd be like, all right, then we're going to win this thing. But that's not what happened at all, man. Jalen, them boys came out swinging, man. They came out swinging. And I know when they had the one turnover and Jalen threw for 50-plus yards on that first pass attempt, I knew then, I was like, ooh, brother, this is going to be a long game for them Chiefs. And it was. But you know what? I mean, look, it doesn't take away from the greatness of the Chiefs.
Well, I mean, where the hell was Taylor Swift? You know, what was she?
Booed.
You know, she should have been on the. I tell you, man, nothing was working, man. Nothing. The halftime show was awesome. I thought.
You like Kendrick?
Came out. You know, I named my son after Kendrick.
No way.
I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. That's when I first, started listening to Kendrick Lamar. And I thought it was a really, really cool name, and I named my son Kendrick.
Well, I did not know that. I knew your son's name, but didn't know it was from Kendrick Lamar. What did you think of him overall kind of really putting the button on the beef with him and Drake? Because when he did Not Like Us and he looked straight in the camera and said, hey, Drake, I know you like him young. It was pretty. And then all the lights go out at the end of his performance, and it says "Game Over" with lights in the stands.
Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna tell you.
And Drake's ex, Serena Williams, was there, crip walking during the performance. Sea walking. Let me say sea walking during the performance.
You know what, man? I thought that was Serena Williams.
It was.
I couldn't really, and the thing is, I couldn't really tell because she looked like she's gotten in so much better shape, right?
No, she was looking great. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm serious. It seemed she had on like a little blue dress, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I swear to God, man, I thought that was Serena Williams. I thought it looked like Serena Williams, but I was like, nah, she ain't thick as Serena Williams. So she must got in some major shape over this last year or so. So nah, man, I thought it was, but I swear to God, I wasn't sure. I swear to God.
So it was just like 3 levels of just like, not only are you at the Super Bowl, last week he won 5 Grammys for Not Like Us, wore a Canadian tuxedo on stage, by the way, and then does Not Like Us in front of the Super Bowl, 100 million people. You have the guy's ex-girlfriend sea walking during the performance. It says "Game Over" at the bottom. So a friend of mine texted me. He goes, after the halftime show, he goes, "Now I know why the president was at the game. He wanted to see the U.S. beat Canada."
That's messed up, man. I heard the president left early, man. I heard he got up out of there early. He predicted, the Chiefs to win, and he's a big Taylor Swift fan now. I don't know if you noticed that.
Is he a Swiftie? I didn't know that.
Swiftie now, so I don't know what the hell's going on. I still have been checked out as far as any news sources since the election. I still haven't watched any news. And I swear, man, I feel so good. I feel so much better. My health seems like it's even better. My mind state, it seems a whole lot better, since I haven't watched any news. But,
well, yeah.
Hell of a win for the Chiefs. I mean, excuse me, for the Eagles, man. They deserve that win. I mean, the Chiefs was so close to actually making that history, making Mark 3 times, which, no other team has ever done, which for me I would have been happy for Patrick Mahomes if they would have won as well. The thing is, I would have been happy if the Chiefs won. Only reason I was a little salty about the Chiefs is because of what they did to the Texans. From the referee's perspective, everything was totally, like the 2 penalties called from roughing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Come on. I mean, I really think we got robbed, but I really think I would have been happy for either one of those teams. Seeing Patrick Mahomes get that third, Super Bowl ring, as well as doing it 3 times in a row, making history, which I think that would have separated him a little bit from Tom Brady.
It would have.
I think. But now people are still putting Tom Brady at that number 1 spot, So I would have been happy either way.
Yeah, Tom was fighting back a smile while he was on the broadcast last night. Man. He was probably like, "Hey, they thought I'm still Tom." And he was wearing a $750,000 watch just to flex on TV a little bit. You know what I mean? Tom's still the guy. Tom's still the guy when all said and done. But I did think early on in the game, they called that offensive pass interference, which I thought was like a little weird.
That first one. Yeah.
I was like, oh man, are we in for a Chiefs refereing night?
And then they gave it back a little bit.
They gave it back
after that.
Yes.
And then from that point on, man, it seemed like the skies just opened, man, and the rain just started coming, and it was coming hard, bro.
Did you see, to bring it to the wrestling tip? Did you see the commercial? I think it was for Bosch Power Tools that featured Antonio Banderas and a Macho Man Randy Savage lookalike.
I didn't.
You didn't see that one? So they had a whole Macho Man commercial in the Super Bowl. So Mach still going, man. Still going strong after all these years.
Was that in the first half or the second half?
Second half.
Yeah. Second half, I went and jumped in the jacuzzi, man. I felt like it was over with. That's how I watched the game. And the commercials are different on the phone than they are, on the
okay.
TV. Yeah, I think that's what it was, probably.
Let me ask you this, though. You've been to some big battles. I think that the Chiefs are going to come back from this next year. Perhaps they find themselves back in the Super Bowl. I don't really think it takes away from their greatness. Do you think Drizzy Drake can make a comeback from this? He's supposed to drop an album this week. I feel like he can make a comeback, but man, that was a real statement.
You know what, man? Honestly, this is just me talking. I could be 100% wrong on this. I could be 100% wrong. But I think Drake had a window, and I think his window is closed. I think all that music Drake produced, hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after hit, it's going to be hard for him taking that break and coming back and creating that all over again, because the music game has changed. It really has. And you know, say what you will about me. I'm old school, but I feel like Drake is not going to be able to repeat that ever again. His window is closed, and those hits that he had, you know, prior, as fast as they came, he's never going to be able to do that again. No way.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be rough for Drake after this Kendrick beef, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Not even just the Kendrick beef. It seems like Drake got like almost like Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle put 20 years in a 10-year career.
I feel that.
And I feel like Drake did the same thing. And I just feel like his window for his style of music is over.
We'll find out.
I've been listening to a lot of these young guys lately, man, and Kendrick Lamar is on still on this younger tip, this drill rap that these guys are doing now, and seem like, you know, like guys like Lil Baby, guys like that are coming up. Literally, guys like Drake are phasing out. And there again, I don't know if you agree with me on that. I know you're a big Drake fan. I know that.
I like Drake. I do like Drake.
But I just feel like his type of music is in the rearview mirror. You know, that's what Pac would say, is in the rear view.
You know, they used to talk about, like, you know, in the 90s, like, who was the greatest? Was it, you know, Pac, Big, or Hove? Like, those are the three. And for my generation, the big three has always been, you know, Cole, Kendrick, and Drake. Like, who's the best? Who's the best of them all? Drake had an unprecedented run on top, like, just unprecedented. Like you said, hit after hit, 10 years at least running the game. I think Spotify for the last 10 years, he's been the #1 stream rapper on Spotify.
Yeah.
So can he come back? Sure. But, you know, will it be like this last run? I think he's got a bit of a scarlet letter on him now, man. He's just got a little bit of a scarlet letter. It's going to be, I think it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be hard for Drake.
Mark my word, man. Mark my word on this one. Just mark my word. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. Blue Chew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
You know, let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, you know, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Just talking about a little something. But I don't know, man. We've talked about the Super Bowl. We talked about Drake, Kendrick. What should we turn the page?
Well, I think we got to talk about, you know, both companies, AEW and WWE, experiencing some releases.
I should have wore black, man. I should have wore my black suit today.
Yeah. I mean, look, lot of names that I'm sure, and you've worked with personally, are no longer with the WWE. And as of right now, as we're doing this, news coming out about AEW's Miro no longer with the company.
Yep.
Ricky Starks apparently no longer with AEW, which is kind of big news. He's been in limbo for a little while. Malachi Black seemingly is no longer with AEW, and then a list for the WWE. I don't know. Who you want to start? AEW, WWE.
Damn list. Let's go down the list first.
Okay, we'll do the list first. This is as we know now. I'm sure more names are going to be added to this. Duke Hudson, Cedric Alexander, the AOP, Paul Ellering, Sonya Deville, Blair Davenport, Isla Dawn, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Giovanni Vinci, and Elektra Lopez, all announced as being no longer with the company.
Man, that's a list, man.
That's a list, and it's kind of hard to know where to start.
Hell of a list. Let's start like you say, AEW. Let's go there. Let's get some controversy going here. Let's get some news clippings. Yeah, some clicks. That's what we need to talk about. We need to talk about Miro. We need to talk about Ricky Starks. We need to talk about Malachi Black, who made his journey over to AEW, as well as Miro making his journey over to AEW from WWE. There again, sometimes the grass is not so green or on the other side. Sometimes guys just aren't made for that system. And the reason I say that is because I remember when I left WWE and I was off for a while, TNA called and I went over there and did some work. And when I went there, nothing against TNA back then. It was a great company. But after working for WWE for 15, 18 years, it was a hard adjustment. It really, really was a hard adjustment. You're used to being in that system where everything is done from a professional perspective all the way across the board. I'm talking about from travel to the catering, in-ring, business, purposes, whatever. Everything's done a certain way. And when I went to TNA, I was like, had to do a lot of the work myself. You know what I mean? I would go to towns, and from an advertising perspective, and go to the McDonald's down the street, right from the building, and no one knew we was there. And I was like, oh man, come on, what's going on here? I'd be going through the airport. You know what I mean? And somebody would see me and say, hey, Booker T, what's going on, man? I say, hey, what's happening, dog? And they say, man, I thought you retired. Where you been? It's like, what are you talking about? I've been on television this whole time. I'm on Spike TV now. You know what I mean? So that's no diss. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this from a personal perspective. I've been in it. That's what I'm talking about. So it's kind of hard making that little bit of adjustment right there.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's start with Malachi and Miro specifically, because they went from WWE to AEW. In some ways, I think Miro was like the main event star that never was, for whatever reason. Like, I saw a lot of promise in Miro, especially when he was United States champion. Him and Lana were a great package together. He had the huge match with John Cena back at WrestleMania. Seemed like the rocket was going to get put on him, and for whatever reason, it never was. And then
you want me to tell you? No,
yeah, I would love to know.
No disrespect to Miro or anything like that, but Lana, the ravishing Russian, just got over more than Miro, right?
Yeah, you can make that.
Right?
You can make that argument,
right? I'm not saying anything out of bounds or anything right now. I really feel like Rusev, his thing was, his thing was going to the ring and working and doing that. The ravishing Russian, she had a upside to her that was limitless. I mean, you could do so much with her,
and a backside. Oh, I couldn't help it. Oh, respect. I couldn't help it.
And I think that's what it was in WWE. I think she just overshadowed him just a little bit.
Yeah. I think that may have had something to do with it for sure. But then he goes over to AEW, and he has kind of these really interesting promos, and was actually getting me involved in the character. I wanted to know more of kind of his redeemer, I think is what he was calling himself at the time. And they're really good vignettes, and I liked them, and just never seemed to. It was like start, stop. Miro's back, Miro's out. Miro's back, Miro's out. Miro's back, Miro's out. And I think that he is kind of like I said, a main event star that never was. And then you turn over to Malachi. Malachi, I think that when he was in NXT, that was the guy, man. I mean, he had a great entrance. I liked his work. I liked the look. And he went up to the main roster. And again, for whatever reason, it just didn't translate. Now, there was a different regime at the time, for sure. I don't know if you can totally blame that, but I see a lot of upside and potential and things that Malachi could have done. I think he had that run with, was it Ray, where they did the eye thing? Was that him and Ray?
Yeah.
With the eye match,
Yeah,
eye for an eye thing. Again, sometimes you're a victim of your creative, but you go over to AEW, he gets his own faction, but it just never felt right. It just never felt like it fit. I personally, I don't know about Miro. I don't know what his, I don't know what his future looks like. But for me, a guy like Malachi / Aleister Black, I would want him back in the WWE. I see you could do some stuff with him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you know what? His missus is over there, which I'm sure sometimes it would be nicer for them at home to be on the same road schedule as goes without saying. But I like Aleister Black a lot when he was in WWE.
Yeah. I liked Aleister Black as well. Aleister Black was over in WWE. What was his name? Aleister Black.
Aleister Black.
Malachi Black in AEW. My thing is this, when he went to Malachi Black and went to AEW, there again, a lot of times people think the grass is greener on the other side. And just look at it from this perspective right here. There again, I'm just looking at it from a guy who's actually been there, done it. Malachi Black in WWE, Aleister Black, everything was there again, done for him, right? Everything was set up for him. All he had to do was just go out there and actually, boom, get it done. All right. He didn't have to write the stories. He didn't have to create, the factions or anything like that. But then you go to AEW and they say, it's like, going to, some of these independent shows, and the guy that's running the show, you show up and you say, well, what do you want from me tonight? And they go, what do you want? You know what I mean? What do you want me to do? What do you want?
Whatever you want to do.
Exactly. That's what it is when you get to AEW. Malachi Black got to AEW and he's, ex Tony Khan, what do you want me to do? He said, what do you want to do? Let me create a faction. What they call?
House of Black.
House of Black, you know what I mean? Boom, let's create this House of Black. Great, that's a great idea. Then you create the idea and nobody has written anything for it. You got to start figuring out what you're going to do yourself. Go to guys, hey guys, y'all want to do an angle? That kind of, it's the stupidest thing in the world. You know what I mean? For me personally. And I think there again, going over there, not having that structure, that hurt a guy like Malachi Black. Going over there, not having that structure, there again, letting a guy like Miro do his own promos. Who you think wrote those promos?
I think he did.
Exactly my point. That's not a conducive way to go out and create a promotion and run a promotion. Can you imagine Hollywood actors just showing up with their own scripts? Can you imagine that?
It wouldn't go over very well.
It would not go over very well at all. So my thing is, I felt like getting out of the system, that WWE system, hurt these guys more than it helped them. As far as star power, you know what I mean? As far as legacy, all of that, I think it hurt them. I could be wrong.
Yeah, and I don't remember the specifics with Miro, but I do remember a big build-up for Aleister Black to come back to SmackDown. He had one match, and then the company let him go. If memory serves me correct, so you go, I guess, where you're celebrated and not tolerated. But I think he could come back. Now, Ricky Starks is another one. Ricky Starks, just interesting, because it seemed like again was getting built up. Seemed like he was going to be one of their main guys, a pillar, if you will, and then and just hasn't done anything in like a year. Just been sitting on the sidelines. He had a match with CM Punk where I think Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was the referee. Like, that's a big spot. And he hasn't done anything. Now, he's a good friend of Cody Rhodes. I know he showed up at the Royal Rumble last year, and then after he showed up at the Royal Rumble, he was never used on AEW television again or something, pretty close thereafter. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I don't know.
Look here, we got 15 seconds. We got to take a break. I'm going to tell you this right now. I've watched, and this is no diss to Ricky Starks or anything like this. Maybe it's because of, him being in that system over there. But me personally, I have not seen anything from Ricky Starks. He got to show me something. You know what I mean? If Ricky Starks plan on being a player, he has to show me something. Now he's not in that system with AEW. Where's he gonna go to show me? Where's he gonna go to show me? Is he gonna show up in NXT? I don't know. A guy like Ethan Page. There again, I asked the same questions of Ethan Page. I say, man, I need this guy to show me something. And boom, immediately this guy showed me he was a player. So that's what I'm talking about as far as Ricky Starks. He's going to have to show me something before I become a believer. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
Hey guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section and row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Guarantee. Oh, yes. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, baby. Oh, yeah, man. Hey, man, I want to make sure everybody is in tune to February the 16th. LFG is going to be kicking off on A&E at 8 p.m., 7 Central. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. It's going to be awesome. My main man, Bubba Ray, Mickey James, as well as The Undertaker will be taking on 16 of the finest up-and-coming superstars, guys. So tune in. Like Mean Gene say, don't miss out. Don't get shut out. It's going to be good. That's my part, that last part. It's going to be good. But yeah, man, I'm excited.
I'm excited because I might have gotten a little screener in my inbox today for the first episode of LFG.
Yeah. I did a round of interviews a couple of days ago, and a lot of guys talking about the first episode that they got, and it's pretty interesting. It's one guy, BJ Ray. Everybody's going to be talking about BJ Ray, so check it out. It's going to be good.
Okay, interesting. I can't wait to watch it. I'm gonna watch it tonight. We were talking about the releases. You had
It's
some
over.
of this
It's over. It's over, man. It's over. It's finished. Wrap them. That's what it is, man.
You said something that's definitely gonna make headlines regarding Ricky Starks, and we'll see. If I think it's probably.
What did I say?
Well, you say he's gonna have to show. You're not sure about him. He's gonna have to show you something.
The report card is still out.
I mean, I feel you. That's your
outside of the CM Punk match that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Name me one match where you said, "Man, this Ricky Starks kid, man. Have you seen him? Have you seen him? Name me one."
No, I'm not saying. I'm not claiming to sit here and be a huge advocate.
That's not a negative or anything like that.
No.
He might take it as a negative.
Probably
you know
will.
what I mean? But there again, show me my resume is written in stone. You know what I'm saying? Show me some. Damn it, go look at a YouTube clip. That's all you got to do. But no, I'm saying that when working at this level, I'm not talking about working on AEW TV. I ain't talking about working on the independent scene. I'm talking about as far as working in the WWE. Yes, the report card is still out on Ricky Starks, and he's going to have to show me something before I become a believer. It's that simple.
Well, let's move on though to the WWE departures. There's a few there I want to get your reaction to. You know some of these folks, but out of the list, let me read it again for those just joining: Duke Hudson, Cedric Alexander, the authors of Pain, Paul Ellering, Sonya Deville, Blair Davenport, Isla Dawn, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Giovanni Vinci, and Elektra Lopez. Any of those names stand out to you as a surprise, or anyone that you say, oh, wow, that was a great talent? I mean,
Well,
anything stand out to you at all? I guess I should say.
Only two names really on that list stands out for me, just for two different reasons. One's a personal reason. Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson started with me at Reality Wrestling. I think we were still PWA then when Duke was.
I think it was just right when it turned.
Yeah, I think we were just turning over.
Close.
And
we were definitely at the gym on Winkler.
Yeah. I got a chance to see him make his rise, and then make his journey to WWE, to NXT. And the thing is, Duke Hudson's been in that system now for 6 years. 6 years I'm in that system. And the thing is, let me tell you something. This is a word from the wise to someone like a Duke Hudson or anybody that want to do this, that want to partake in this business. 6 years in NXT system. That's going to be way too long for anyone to be in an NXT system. And the thing is, I say it all the time. If you don't change with the times will pass you by. If you don't know how to actually reinvent yourself and do something and make them look at you differently than they've looked at you before, that's not going to be on them. That's going to be on you. And it can be the smallest little things, as perhaps getting your hair cut a certain way. It could be something as big as getting in the gym and really putting in a whole lot of time. I'm talking about when everybody's sleeping, you working. And then when you show up, and then you just take your shirt off, all of a sudden somebody's eyebrow go up just a little bit because they say, whoa, wait a minute, this guy's been doing something. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if you ain't preparing, you are preparing to fail. And that's the bottom line to that. Another guy is Giovanni Vinci. This is a guy who was part of the Imperium. And I thought Vinci had a great look. I don't know about his in-ring prowess because I've really never gotten a chance to really see him work up close and personal. Only a couple of times, and he looked like he could work. He looked like he could be a star in this business. But there again, sometimes the stars don't align properly, and that's just the way, like my brother say, the old mop flop. But those two names are the two names that stands out for me out of the whole list of guys.
Yeah, on Duke Hudson, again, Duke Hudson and Giovanni Vinci, both, in my perspective, look-wise, it's like, oh, yeah, these guys are going to be big stars. Giovanni Vinci, when he broke off from Imperium recently and kind of did his own gimmick, it was kind of the talk of the town because he lost within a few seconds to Apollo Crews.
You remember me saying the hardest part for Giovanni, as well as, what's the other kid's name?
Ludwig?
Kaiser. Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah.
I say the hardest thing for those two guys is going to be breaking away from being background dancers for Imperium.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember me saying that.
We talked about it several months back.
It's going to be the hardest thing for those guys, being able to break away from being those backup guys, because they still come to the ring acting like backups. They still do the same thing, the hand behind the back, the walk, look, it's over. It's over. It's just like when I said about Montez Ford. I said, get rid of that damn cup. What are you drinking? Lean? That's not a positive outlook. You know what I mean? So know how to change with the time. So I think that's that's my perspective.
I never knew the name of one Pip, but I knew Gladys Knight.
There it is. You know what I mean? And one of them was a brother.
Never knew one Pip.
I'm serious. One of the Pips was Gladys Knight's brother. That's what backup do for you. I swear. I had the offer, one would think, of a lifetime. When Scott Hall came to me and say, bro, we need a little color in the NWO. You know what I mean? I said thanks, but no thanks, because I did not want to be a backup singer. I did not want to be the guy that was just, a part of something. No, I wanted to create my own legacy, and I turned it down. I don't know too many people that would turn down an offer like that.
Early on NWO, this wasn't like 40-man NWO.
Oh, this is like four people NWO.
Yeah. Yeah, this is even before Pac and DiBiase.
It's like four people NWO. Yeah. And literally I turned it down because I did not want to be a backup singer.
One of the best decisions you could have made. When we look at other ones, AOP, they had a run before in the company. I like them as a tag, but they just
too big. They're too damn big. You know
never get off the ground.
It's nothing you can do with guys like that. It's nothing you can do with guys like that. They're too big. They're too bulky. I mean, who are you going to put them with? It's stuff like that. And the thing is, it's nothing. They didn't do anything wrong, I don't think.
No. But
it's just being that just say, for instance, if they were in 1995, that'd have been perfect. That'd have been perfect for the job. But I think that they're just coming in at the wrong place at the wrong time of life.
It's funny that you say in 95 because, they were with Paul Ellering, right? Who is kind of a throwback to that era of DOA and even LOD and AOP fell right into that. So Paul Ellering is going to be fine, man. Paul Ellering, I think, look, love and respect to Paul Ellering. I think, he had a job because he's Paul Ellering. You know what I mean? Like, let's give him a contract. He's put his front in, and I think he's going to be okay. He's been 50 years or 40 years, something like that, and I think he'll be all right. One that did kind of surprise me, Carl Anderson and Gallows, not super surprising. They weren't doing a whole hell of a lot since they came back. Spent some time at NXT, which I think was beneficial for some of the talent down there. Sonya Deville, a little bit surprising in the sense of she's always had a prominent role on the show, even when, she had that feud with Mandy Rose, which was like a big deal. They had a SummerSlam match. She went all the way. She was a general manager for a while. She had that, I think it was ACL tear or Achilles tear or something, was out a year. And then boom, she's in this faction with Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. And then now it's like, boom, over with, but she was in the company. Can you believe this? For 10 years.
Bro, she started on Tough Enough with me.
On Tough Enough, yeah. And she didn't even win Tough Enough.
In 2015, and yeah, she's had a hell of a run. And that's what it's all. I mean, she had a good run. And the thing
she had a good run, but she was also a good representative for the company. She was a good ambassador.
Yeah, I mean, our runs come to an end, I think, and I just think that's just the actors changing of the actors more than anything. I think. But the thing is, one would say, well, why this actor? That's just the way the acting business is. I was just looking at, isn't it a new Mission Impossible coming out?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is 62 years old. They keep some actors around forever. Some of them stick around only for a while. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man, Brad Gilmore. And today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With EarnIn, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
EarnIn is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the EarnIn app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last-minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make EarnIn part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to EarnIn.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download EarnIn today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with EarnIn now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to earn in, not just earn. Check it out, man. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, baby. Oh, yeah. What were we, man? I was writing some stuff down over here.
Oh, we were just talking about obviously some of the releases that happened that normally we see post WrestleMania. Something, I don't know what happened between AEW and WWE over these last couple of days. They needed to do something, I guess, to clean up the books before the quarter ends. I'm not sure what the reason was. But look, we've been talking about all the talent, and I do think that we need to say, it obviously sucks when anybody's out of work, especially one of the boys or girls. And thankfully, there are more options. I think some of these people will do well in the indies. Some might go from WWE to AEW. Some might go from AEW to WWE. You might see one or two of them come down to reality wrestling. You never know. But we just hope they all land on their feet with a safe landing wherever they may go. I think we should say.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
But the road to WrestleMania is continuing to soldier on, Book. And I will say, after that Royal Rumble, the electricity, I think, is still there for the WWE going into the big show, the show of shows. And for me, I'm just excited to see what happens out of this Elimination Chamber. There's so many possibilities that are coming up, and it's going to be in Toronto. We know Toronto is like a wrestling. It's like Canada's Chicago, right? Like Chicago's the wrestling town. Here in the United States, everyone's like, Chicago's the best crowd. Oh, the All-State Arena, whatever. I feel like Toronto is that in Canada. Like, that's a great wrestling city.
I'll say L.A. That's what I always, that's the way.
L.A.'s the best wrestling city?
Not the best wrestling city, but as far as comparison to how I feel in Canada.
Toronto.
Toronto specifically. In LA, it has that same vibe, it did to the way I used to feel about LA back in the day. It might be different now, but I'm feeling it as well. I know you're thinking about John Cena, you know what I mean? Everybody's thinking about John Cena, getting that, one more, making him, truly the GOAT of all the professional wrestling. Me personally, I'm totally on board with that. But that's not where I'm not really thinking a whole lot about it, like guys like yourself.
Well, I feel like
no. I'm just saying. I know that's why you brought that up. I can see it. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your body language. You can't wait to see John Cena. You can't wait to do the vibe. That he stole from me. You know what I mean? So I get it. You know what I mean? Everybody's excited about John Cena.
I'm excited for John Cena to be in the Elimination Chambers, as well as CM Punk's going to be in there. I'm also hearing, I said it on this show after the Rumble. I said Trish Stratus isn't just going to be around just for a Rumble appearance. Something more is going to happen. And there are reports coming out that she's going to be involved somehow at the Elimination Chamber. It is in Toronto. We're in WrestleMania season. I feel like we're going to see more, Trish Stratus. Are you ready to be stratisfied? I'm always ready to be stratified.
Hey, bro, Trish is always good. But you know what? We alumni.
Right.
We're alumni, Trish and I. We're connected forevermore.
Same class.
So to see Trish come back and do her thing, still doing it at the level that she's doing it, which is very, very high. I'm loving every bit of it. I really am.
What did you think of the reactions that Charlotte Flair has been getting in the lead up here to WrestleMania? I think she came out on Raw. Didn't get like a hero's welcome. I think was a little bit thrown off personally just by looking at it from the reaction from the crowd, which was kind of negative.
Yeah. And the thing is a lot of people on social media that butt hurt about Charlotte Flair winning the Rumble, coming back after all that time off and winning the Rumble. So a lot of people wishes that their favorites would have won the Rumble. I feel like Charlotte Flair is, she's a heel, okay? And she got booed, I think, a lot because they're trying to play that babyface role with Charlotte Flair, but she's not. She's truly not.
She's a heel.
She's truly not a babyface. She's a heel. Am I right here? What?
I agree with you.
When Charlotte Flair put the smile on and try to act like a babyface, it just don't even look right.
It doesn't feel. It's not what I want to see. It's not what I want.
It doesn't even feel right, right? So
I agree with you.
A lot of people are mad because they really just don't like Charlotte Flair from a heel perspective, and a lot of people don't like it just because she won the Rumble and she wasn't the person that they were rooting for. I think that's all it is. Unlike Hogan being booed because he was in WO.
That's what he said, isn't it?
That's what he said anyway. So I'm trying to make a real comparison here.
It's just so disappointing.
For Charlotte Flair here, as far as the reason why people are on board, it's a good thing. It's going to make her matches a lot better. It's going to make whoever she's working with a lot better. It's going to make it a whole lot easier for the writers to go and write.
Yes, no, I agree with you.
I could be wrong, but that's just the way I feel about it.
I agree with you about Charlotte. I do. It's just
what about Hogan? What about Hogan?
It just hurts. Do you know what I mean? It hurts.
From the NWO.
It just hurts. Like book, like for like this is for real. Like I actually heard Seth Rollins talk about it, and he didn't say the most positive things about Hulk in an interview. I think Undertaker said, you kind of have what you get what you have coming to you on his show, 6 Feet Under, which you were a guest on at one point. Hogan coming up as a wrestling fan, you love him. You love Hulk Hogan. Every wrestling fan has done this at some point, and cupped the ear and did the poses. At some point, it's just natural. And I was a huge Hulk Hogan fan. It was kind of hard to not be. And even after the whole tape that happened, where he was using the inflammatory language, we had him on this very show. Yeah. We talked to Hogan about it, and I think he tried to put that behind him as best as he could. But sometimes when you just look at everything and you look at the totality of it, sometimes people really just aren't who you want them to be.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate realization. I'm always going to be a Hulk Hogan, the character on television fan. And you can never discount what Hulk Hogan did for this industry. Had there not been a Hulkamania in 85, perhaps we wouldn't be here talking. Maybe wrestling would still be a small circuit, little shows in studios and not in stadiums. That's very possible. But it's just really difficult to see somebody who means so much to the industry, the Babe Ruth in a lot of ways, just have such a precipitous fall and just tough. It's just tough to watch him, man.
You know what? I think that's, I know, not to change the subject from Hogan, but he's a part of this. A lot of our heroes, from that era and back in that time, or seem to fall from grace, and when they fall very, very hard. Starting with guys like Bill Cosby. We watched Bill Cosby. I watched Bill Cosby.
Love Bill.
I love the Cosby Show, man. I mean, that was a show that, as well as just his comedic, career
Great
before
stand-up.
that. Oh man, he was great. And then we look at guys like Diddy now. Russell Simmons leaving the country. It's just amazing. That these guys build these legacies. And then, like a Hogan, have these fall from grace. And like I say, those falls are so hard. And I think about that all the time because I've tried to, do the right things throughout my career. But these days, with social media, even though Hogan has been a part of a lot of things, one thing could definitely turn things in a downward perspective, and that once you get in that nosedive, sometimes it seems like you can't get out of it. You know what I mean? Boom, you just crash and it's all over with. But I tell you, man, this world today is wicked, man. It really is. It really is.
Hogan's a great star, big star, great star, great for his time. I don't know why I wanted to do that. He's great, one of the all-time greats. But what were we talking about? Charlotte. Going back to Charlotte off of Hogan. And by no means should anybody connect the Hogan talk to the Charlotte talk. Please, nobody make that connection because it's not even in the same conversation. I don't know how we got there, but we got there.
We got there from the big booed, you know.
Oh, right. So there's a difference between the boo she got.
I think it was a different, and I think we clarified that, right?
I think we clarified that. Hopefully. I did watch a Hogan movie over the weekend, and it's probably the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And The Undertaker's in it.
Okay, which one was it?
It's called Suburban Commando.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
Christopher Lloyd's in it from Back to the Future.
I've seen the trailer. I think I've seen a couple of clips, and I knew Taker was in it. Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah,
it's horrible, but it's like a good horrible. You know what I
No
mean?
holds barred, but no holds barred.
Oh, it's so cheesy, but it's awesome.
It's a good movie. Yeah, I like it.
It's awesome. Zeus.
Yeah,
I was scared of Zeus, man.
Yeah. Nah.
Tiny Lister.
Yeah.
Did Hogan ever have like a really good movie? Oh, well, Rocky 3.
Well, that wasn't his movie though.
I know, but he's in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
We got to take a break. Stick around, guys.
We got break. Take a break. It's done.
Wait a minute.
This is it.
What about our super chatters?
We got to get to them right now. Here, let's get to our super chat. I'll cut this segment. But this is from Oscar Bum. Says, what was the hardest thing about wrestling jobbers? As we like to call them in the business, enhancement talent.
Enhancement guys. No, man, those were some of the best times in my career. I always give guys like Cuban Assassin and Ricky Santana, guys like that so much credit. I even mentioned those two guys in my Hall of Fame speech going into as a tag team, just because if it wasn't for guys like, Cuban and Ricky Santana, it wouldn't have been no Harlem Heat, man, because those guys went out there and made us look so good on a weekly basis, man. I love working with those guys.
And to me, yeah, I mean, the enhancement guys, the Iron Mike Sharps and even that ilk of guys in the WWF, and it's kind of not a thing anymore, really. There are some guys on the roster that you could consider quote unquote enhancement talent, but there used to be the guys where okay, he's going to go under, but those enhancement guys, some of them, like they were so good at it. Like that was what they were. You need that guy.
My first real match was against a guy by the name of Dusty Wolf. In WWF, he was called Dale Wolf, Dusty Wolf. He had like 3 different names. He never won a match, and he was my first match. And I was going over, and I just asked him, "Hey, you think you can get me through this match, Mr. Wolf?" And he was like, "Yeah, kid, I'll make you look good." And he went out there and he made me look so good, man. Made me look better than I could ever make myself look. So man, I appreciate those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we got one more here. This from Big Breezo. I love when Book gets mad at Vic for not showing the bad guy champion some respect. Are you a heel, Book? Somebody asked me. They're like, is Book a heel?
You know what? I don't think I'm a heel at all. I really don't. I just like the guys I like. If it's a good guy and I like him, like Trick Williams. I like Trick. He's a baby face. He's a good guy. I think it's a lot of baby faces around there that I like. It's a lot of heels. I'm liking their work though. I'm not liking anything outside of that. If they work and they put in work, I'm gonna like them 100% every single time. You know what I mean? Not like a Jada Parker. You know what I mean? She's gonna go out there and put the work in. I like Jada Parker. You know what I mean? So no, man. I'm not a heel. I'm not a baby face. You know what I mean? Or anything like that.
What's there not to like? No, I think that there shouldn't be black and white color. Babyface heel announcers like there was in the 80s or even in the 90s with King and JR. I think that it's good to be shades of gray. Yeah, because it's really like life. There's some guys that's like, hey, I like that guy or girl.
I think if anybody is biased, it's Vic.
Vic is biased.
I mean, he never, put the heels over. He never put Roxanne Perez over for how good she is. He's not once put Roxanne Perez over as good as she is. Ethan Page is not once have Vic put Ethan Page over as good as he is. You know what I mean? Guys like Ridge Holland, you might not like his attitude, but not once have Vic said anything good about a guy like Ridge Holland. And I see a lot of good in these guys. I say a guy like Ridge Holland, I see you could trust Ridge Holland. He's like a snake. You could trust a snake to bite you. I mean, come on. That's what it's all about. It's about being transparent. It's about being upfront. My thing is just tell it like it is.
Well, we have one more super chat coming in. If you have any more guys y'all want to throw in before we get out of here, please send them in right now. This is from James Foreman, who says, "Didn't Hogan work with Rodman, Mr. T, and Shaq?" Yeah.
I think so. You know,
What is that supposed to mean?
Hogan's had to rub, especially in WCW, man. It was those guys, man. It was partying big time in W. I wish I could tell some of those stories, but they're not my stories to tell. So I'm gonna stick.
Yeah.
You know what? That's
Shaq,
one thing I want
Shaq never wrestled a match.
I want to get that. I want to get that out there real quick too.
What?
All you suckers out there, you podcasters that's telling stories, and you're telling stories about Booker T. Keep my name out your mouth, guys, because you don't know the story. Half you guys that may talk about Booker T, you don't know the story. You wasn't there. You didn't see it. One person was Stevie Richards. You wasn't there. You didn't see it. I just wanted to put that out there. So I know the internet is going to pick that up.
What did Stevie say?
Stevie Richards was on the show. He was talking about the Bagwell Booker T match. And he was speculating on this and speculating on that as far as how that match was and what was done and how it was done and whatnot. And I always say, I don't tell people stories. I don't do that because I wasn't there. It's not my story to tell. When I hear people talking about the stories that I've been a part of, which they have no idea what went on the day before or the day of or the day after. Just trying to get clicks. And I know Stevie Rich is probably going to pick this up. Remember the first time I want to put this story out there real quick. Stevie probably going to co-sign on it. One of the first times I met Stevie Richards, I remember we was on WWE was having a match. I can't remember who was all in the match, but Stevie Richards was one of the guys. And I remember I was talking about the match. I was calling a lot of it. And every time I went to Stevie Richards, I would go, this guy, I need him to do such and such and such and such. Then I would start talking about the match and whatnot. I mentioned this guy's name. I mentioned this guy's name. I mentioned this guy's name. I'll come back to Stevie and I go, this guy, you know what I mean? Need to do this, that, whatnot. Then at one point, Stevie stops me. He goes, hey, Booker. I go, yeah. He goes, you don't even know my name, do you? I go, Stevie, right? So Stevie Richards, don't be speculating, man. Don't be speculating.
Yo, fuck. That's mad disrespectful. That's crazy, man.
I don't know what I was doing. I don't know how I did it. I don't know why. I just know I did it.
That's so disrespectful. This guy.
This guy.
Oh man.
Yeah,
you're saying Stevie Richards better not tell your stories anymore because you'll see him at WrestleCon.
I'll run up on him. He knows me. He knows everything. He knows me, man. You know, don't be telling my stories, man. Don't be telling them. So, trust me, because there's so much more detail in stories that you're not a part of. When somebody like me hear it, I go, come on, bro. You don't know. You really don't know. That's what I'm saying more than anything. But I know we got to get out of here, man.
Last one. Kidman for Hall of Fame.
Hell no. Hell you thinking?
We better get out of here.
Look, man, I'm just playing. You want Kidman in the Hall of Fame? Put him in there. All right. I got to work with Kidman on a weekly basis. He gonna hear this.
Oh man. Anything else you want to say to bury somebody?
Trying to get some clicks here, man. Trying to get our YouTube channel up to 837,000 subscribers. We need you guys to actually get it done.
All right.
Is that it, man?
That's it. Time to get out of here.
Somebody put that last one up because they knew it was going to get some fire. Hey, man, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame today. Get your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, a few bonus clips there for you guys as well. But Bradley, for all the heavy lifting, we appreciate you. But until next time, guys, peace. We love you. We out.